What the hell going on, man? You feel me? It's your boy Finesse Dog. We back again. We back again. We back in the building again. Like I said, I'm gonna keep the content rolling. You feel me? Appreciate all the support, man. Everybody that's been tapping in. As always, you feel me? I see it all. You feel me? So I appreciate it all. Even if I don't say it all the time, which I do pretty much for the most part. I say it all the time. I appreciate y'all. You feel me? But today we're gonna be checking out that boy Takashi. You feel me? Takashi from Japan. You feel me? Interviewing folks about being half Japanese and the struggles of being half whatever they are and have Japanese at the same time. You feel me? So we're gonna go ahead and get into the content. Let's go ahead and get it then. Not for real.
I'm half Japanese and half Nigerian.
Half Japanese.
My mom spoke to me in Russian growing up, and my dad spoke to me in Japanese. So I was just able to
notice that, oh yeah, I don't have a pure Japanese look as they do.
I am half Japanese. I do have like Japanese blood. But
say when I was in Bahamas, I was called more or less white boy, and then I come to Japan, and then of course I'm darker.
That's crazy.
Maybe you can introduce yourself in
Call that boy
Japanese
white
and
boy.
Arabic.
私の名前はノアです。お母さんは日本人で、お父さんはモロッコ人。
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Takashi. So today I'm going to interview mixed race
Love you,
Japanese
Takashi.
people. What's it like living in Japan for half Japanese? Okay, let's get started. Thank you for your time. Can you introduce yourself?
so I'm Kat and I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. My mom is
Yeah,
Japanese
perfect
from
English.
Nagasaki, and my dad is from Boston and American white. And I am a exchange student at Sophia University.
And you're gonna leave Japan in a few days.
Yes, I'm leaving this Sunday
Wow.
back to USA.
It's your first time living in Japan, right?
Yes. Yes.
What was it like growing up in America?
Shorty half
as
snow bunny, half.
Japanese?
You feel me?
Growing
That's crazy.
up, I feel like most people saw me as like an Asian, even though I'm still half. They don't really care what kind of Asian I was. It was just like, oh, she's Asian. She's an Asian girl.
I mean, she do
was
look-
too
it's the eyes,
white
honestly.
for the Asian students, and I was too Asian for like white students, kind of thing. Very like, I feel like I've heard
That's
this
crazy.
a lot, but just kind of like that same experience. And then when I come to Japan, it'd be like, oh, foreigner kind of thing. In my opinion,
That's
this
crazy.
is just how I feel, but
It's
I
crazy how like in Japan, like I've seen a lot of Takashi's videos, and it's crazy like how they can spot a foreigner from Gaijin. You feel me? If I'm not mistaken, that's what that's what they call people. You feel me? They could spot a foreigner. You feel me? From a mile away. It don't matter if you even look a little Japanese. They'll get you out the paint. Like, listen, you ain't Japanese like that. You have. Stop playing. You a halfer. Stop playing. Nah, for real.
I feel like I'm not.
I can kind of see the
Japanese
white
enough
girl in her
for
a little bit
Japanese
though, but she
society.
do still look
I
Japanese.
feel like sometimes it might be like almost like requirements to be considered Japanese in like Japan.
It's the eyes that make
Like,
her still look
I
Japanese.
do have citizenship. I am half Japanese. I do have like Japanese blood, but I feel like my language is not as strong that to be recognized as a Japanese person.
See, that's where
or maybe my
that's probably where she go wrong because she ain't out here speaking that fluent Japanese. They like, fam, who is you? Nah, for real.
look, the way I dress, or like the
You
way
might
I
look
act
Japanese,
is
but you ain't.
not Japanese
You don't know how to
enough
talk that
for
talk.
Japanese people to see me as Japanese, I guess.
Can you introduce yourself in Japanese?
こんにちは、皆さん。宮崎ローレンスめぐみキャサリンです。よろしくお願いします。ジョージ大学で
Hello, Japanese.
留学生です。
Seon, I'm from Bahamas, and I was over there for basically almost my whole life, and then from high school, I was able to come to Japan. My mom is actually Japanese, and my dad is from Bahamas, so I'm half.
What was it like growing
Word.
up in Japan as half Japanese from 16 years old, maybe 15 years old? What was it like at the time?
At the time, I would say it was really difficult because my Japanese back then was pretty bad. Like I basically could understand it, I guess. And, through the years, because I went to a high school that basically was taught in Japanese only, I kind of had to survive.
Yo, fam, if I'm coming from the Bahamas, B, and you throw me straight to a Japanese only high school, I'm cooked. I'm getting left back. I'm getting left back. Word. Ain't no child left behind in Japan. You getting left back because your Japanese is terrible. Not for real. Like,
And then
I'm-
through there,
I
I was just able to go
failed.
really hard in the Japanese learning. And it's not perfect yet.
you gotta dive
Still trying.
deep
Have
because
you had
ain't no
any
way.
like experience of having
dive
like
deep in the
identity
culture.
crisis?
Any half, regardless of your race, I feel like has had an identity crisis at one point, or you have thought like, am I really this side or the next? When I was in Bahamas, I felt like I was called more or less white boy, even though
And
It's
that's
because
crazy.
basically everyone was darker than me. And then I started to think like, okay, if I was called a
Hey.
white boy, do I really belong here? And then I come to Japan, and then of course I'm darker than everyone. And then you start thinking like, do I really belong here as well? But definitely,
Hey,
I'd say
man,
any
that's
half has
crazy.
really had that type of thought for sure.
Can you introduce yourself in Japanese to my viewers?
はい、じゃあ、セヨンです。まあね、私がバハマですけど、15歳ぐらいから日本に来て、まあ、高校からそこからずっと日本ですけど、今はサラリーマン IT 企業で、
これからもずっと日本に住む予定ですか？
大体5年ぐらいはここからいたいかな。普通に、まあ、日本好きなんで。
Hello, my name is Kaori.
Yes, yo, Japanese sounds like a cool ass language. Obviously, word to everything. I grew up in Japan a little bit. You feel me? I used to live in Japan back in the 90s. You feel me? So obviously, I've been immersed into the culture. You feel me? Word. Still watch anime to this day, but like I would want to learn Japanese, but I'd be thinking like, who the hell am I gonna speak Japanese to? Like I'm gonna have to find people to speak Japanese, obviously, because I still live in the U.S. You feel me? So it's like, even if I learn Japanese, who am I gonna? It's just gonna be a flex at this point. I'm gonna just be speaking another language by myself. None of my other friends will know Japanese. Like, I feel like if I had to learn another language, if I was going to learn another language, it would probably be Spanish. And I'm gonna try to work on that soon, definitely, because Hispanic people are, you feel me, all over the place in the U.S. But Japanese is very few and far in between. Now, for real.
My mother is Colombian and my father is Japanese.
That's a crazy
I was
mix.
born and raised in Colombia, and now I'm living in Tokyo.
Can
That's
you
crazy.
describe your experience of
See, that's the one thing too. Like, I feel like if I did, other than like, I could live in any other place other than the U.S., because the U.S. is ass, but it's good at the same time because we got a lot of freedoms that other places don't have. You feel me? But if I had to live in any other place other than the U.S., it would have to be either obviously Jamaica because I'm Jamaican. You feel me? Word too. But it would be Jamaica or probably Japan. Word, like, because I love Japanese food. I love the culture. You feel me? I could genuinely live there and be straight for a little bit. Like, I might not permanently stay there, but I would be straight, other than the fact that I wouldn't know Japanese. So that would be hard in itself. But I feel like I would be cool there. You feel me?
living in Colombia as half Japanese?
It was always like, oh, she is Asian.
Really?
Yeah. So he's like, oh, are you Asian? And he's like, Chinese or Japanese? And then I'm like, oh, I'm half Japanese. Being raised there, I would not say I had many experiences of racism, but there were just a few occasions that people did treat me not nicely for being Asian, so making Asian jokes and stuff.
That's crazy.
But in general, it was
I mean, Colombian,
fine.
you Asian.
My dad really tried when I was little living in Colombia. He gave us like homework from Monday to Friday to my
That's
brother and I,
crazy.
like, this is your Japanese homework. And on Saturdays, he
Damn.
make like little tests so we could practice Japanese. And inside the house, we talk Japanese and Spanish mixed, like
That's
with my father
crazy.
and my mother. So he tried really hard since we were little to not forget.
And that's low key a flex too. Like, you can speak Spanish and Japanese. That's crazy. Japanese and Spanish going back and forth in the household is crazy though. That sounds like it would get confusing.
That we were also Japanese, even though we were not living in Japan
Word.
at the time.
Can you introduce yourself in Japanese and Spanish?
ヤッホーカオリです。パパが日本人でママがコロンビア人です。コロンビア生まれ、コロンビア育ちで今は東京に住んでいます。Hola chicos y chicas, mi nombre es Kaori. Actualmente vivo en Tokio y estoy haciendo streams y videos en YouTube en español por si quieren ir a ver. Gracias.
My name is Monet, and I'm from Osaka. And my mom is Japanese, and my dad is Puerto Rican. Was born and raised in Japan, so I never even been to Puerto Rico.
Really?
That's
No.
crazy.
So
Hey.
my mom.
Hey, my man, you might want to get out there. They got the shorties out there. Word, get your ass to Puerto Rico now, for real.
used to live in Spain, and they
Yo.
met there, and they were dating. And
They got him
moved
out
to
there.
Bronx,
He's gonna change his
New
life
York,
when he go to Puerto
and They
Rico.
were dating, and then they broke up, and my mom came back to Japan.
With you.
So yeah, and then she realized that she was pregnant, so she raised me alone. My experience of
That's crazy.
being mixed in Japan has been quite unique. I've been in the Japanese school system my entire life. When I was 7 or 8, I was biking on the street in a small town in Osaka where I'm originally from, and everyone kept
Osaka.
telling at me, And I wondered why and noticed that, oh yeah, I don't have a pure Japanese look as they do.
said, boy, you ain't Japanese?
These kind of things
Nah, for
I've been
real.
struggling with my entire
ain't
life.
Japanese, nigga?
Also, many occasions that I've been treated as not Japanese person. Sometimes like due to my skin color and how I look. Sometimes people say, oh, your Japanese is really good, or you don't look Japanese when I introduce myself to them. All these experience kind of made me feel like, oh, I have no place that I belong to in this country. I never met my dad
Man,
until
take
I
your
was
ass to Puerto Rico,
19,
boy. They got him out
and
there.
He bought
They is
me a
out
train
there.
ticket
Out to
to
the Puerto Rican
like going
shorties.
flying to New York City,
Stop playing.
and I met my dad and my brothers. But meeting them when I was 19, it was great because my brother treated me as brothers. One of my brothers are actually visiting me Tokyo next year. Yeah.
Can you introduce yourself in
Word.
Japanese?
僕の名前モネって言います、25歳で大阪出身で母が日本人で父がプエルトリコ人です3月に大学を卒業して仕事で東京に引っ越しましたフリーランスで、ファッションだったりビューティーだったりそういうことをやってます
Hi, my
You
name
work in
is
the fashion
Weezy.
beauty
I'm
industry,
half
but hey,
Russian,
that fit
half
was not it.
Japanese. I was born in Guam, and I lived in Guam, Hawaii, Japan, other places in America,
She out
and I live
here.
in Tokyo right now.
So you
Good.
speak Russian,
Vivian
Japanese, and
Westwood.
English?
Russian, Japanese, and English. Yeah.
Like,
She
how did you
flexing.
manage all
She
that
flexing.
language?
Russian?
Yeah.
Russian.
Growing up in America, you just learn English naturally from being in the environment.
Facts.
But my mom spoke to me in Russian growing up, and my dad spoke to me in Japanese. So I was just able to retain it through living life.
Which language is the most comfortable, and then which language is the like weakest? You say.
English is definitely the most comfortable, and
Word.
the weakest.
You know, it's crazy. They say English is the hardest language in the world to know, like to like learn for real. Like, it's crazy when you think about it because you just grow up in the U.S. You just go to school, you learn all the alphabets, you pick up on the lingo. Obviously, like I said, you learn English from the books in school and whatnot too. It's just easy. But it's like when you think about it, it's like it makes sense because we got so many words that mean different things, but it's the same word. Like we got, like I said, so many different lingos and different, you know what I'm saying, how we say the pronunciations of certain words are silent. Like you get to thinking about it, you like, oh nah, like it makes sense. So that's crazy.
Is probably Japanese.
You
But it's
planning
probably
to
the most
stay in
common
Japan,
language,
or at some
English?
point you want to go
Think
to
about it.
Russia or like the States?
I definitely want to go back and forth from Tokyo and America.
Why not Russia?
Honestly, I've been there. I lived
The
there
hell of
before. I
Russia.
really love it.
Russia.
I love the culture.
It's
I
probably
love my
cold as shit
family
there
that is
during
all
certain
from there,
seasons.
but it's a little bit too like strict with their rules,
That
the
too,
way they
probably.
live. I can't do that.
Can you say something in Russian and Japanese?
Привет, меня зовут Майя, мне 23. 今は東京に住んでて、アメリカも行って、東京に帰ってきて、
She switched like that. She
まあ
went from Russia
楽し
to
い遊びしてま
to
す。
Japanese,
Hi,
just
my
like
name is
that.
Tomo. My mother is Lebanese, my father is Japanese, and I was born in Japan, lived in London and Brighton, a little bit in the US, and now I live in Tokyo.
How did your parents meet? Did they meet in Japan or Lebanon or?
Yeah, so my mom's sister, my aunt, was living in Japan, and then the war in Lebanon happened. So my mom came to Japan, and she met my father in high school when she was 15.
Could you share your experience of growing up in the UK and Japan as well? Like, yeah, what kind of experience did you have as half Japanese as Lebanese?
London is so mixed, it's so diverse. It's very interesting because I remember when I was 4, I went to England and people are very inviting, like they're very like welcoming. So
Word.
people would be like, hey, we have a party, come to our house. And in Japan, you don't usually go to people's homes. So it was like, I was very used
I heard that a lot too. Like I ain't gonna lie, like I heard like the Western culture compared to like that Eastern side and Japan and whatnot, like it's way more like we way more friendly over here. Like we way more embracing. You feel we embrace each other a little bit more, even though it's still crazy on this side too. Don't get it twisted, Japan. It's crazy on this side, fam. But you feel me? I heard that like compared to over there, like over here, we're way more like I said, just affectionate even. Like, you feel me? Like we show love different. You feel me?
to that and sleeping over at people's houses and all that.
Word.
always having like parties and
Completely
again bringing
different
people to
culture.
their homes. So it was very interesting.
Can you say something in Arabic and Japanese?
Yeah, sure. Ana isme Tomo, nus labnene, nus yabane. 僕はスクーバダイビング大好きです。60カ国行ってます。Google とか BBC、CNN とかのために撮影してます。
どこの国が
Oh,
一
you on
番
this
好きで
news
した？
tip.
一番好きな国、まあ難しいけど、ペルーのマチュピチュ、ヨルダン
ペル
のペトラとかラディラ。
Hi, I'm Angela. I'm half Japanese and half Nigerian. I was born and raised
Nigerian.
in Japan.
黒人のハーフとして育つ
He
っていうの
definitely
は
mixed. I could
どうで
tell.
した自分自身のアイデンテ
She
ィ
like
自分自身の考え
melanated,
方
but
と
she
か
still look a little Japanese,
小
low
学
key.
校中学校
That
ぐらい
Asian
まで
look.
は周りがみんな日本人だからなんか自分が人と違うなとかいう感覚があったりその周りの子たちに合わせたりとか髪ストレートにしたりとか去年、アメリカに行ってでそこでなんか結構いろんな人を見て
Melting
自
pot
分
for
らしく
sure.
行こうと思って宿毛矯正やめて今はカーリーヘアです。
ナイジェリアに
Yeah,
行
you
ったこ
feel
とは
me?
あります
Embrace
か
your black side,
行ったことな
shorty.
い
You
です。
feel me?
両
Stop
親が離
playing.
婚してるので、
Boy,
日
ain't
本
not-
人
you
の
know
お
what I mean?
母さん
Straighten out here no
と生
more.
活してきたのでないです。
ナイジェリアは自分のもう一つの国でもあるじゃないですか行ってみたいわっていうのはありますかそれとも別になんかあんまりないですか
そんなに気にしてないです。違う友
So you want to visit Nigeria or not? I don't even care for real.
達も入
See,
っ
I'm
て
just
ただけ
Nigerian, but like, fuck
で
that shit.
なんかそんなに重要視はしてないです。
Please introduce your background.
Hello, my name is Emilia Sakura Sato. So my dad is Japanese and my mom is Indonesian. I was born and
that's
raised in
different.
Jakarta, Indonesia, and now I'm coming to Japan
Jakarta.
to visit my family.
So you never lived in Japan?
Oh, she never even
No,
lived there. She
only
ain't even
stay.
been there.
I want to, maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in Jakarta, like as half Japanese?
I think it was quite fun because I went to international school, so we have a lot of friends from around the world. Also, the teacher is from like America, the UK, or the Australia, so it's cultural, everything. And then as half Japanese, actually in the international school, I have one friend who is half Fu also. And
Ooh.
I think in Jakarta, there are a
Little
lot of
relatability.
Japanese people also.
So what language do you speak?
I speak 3 languages, so English, Indonesian, and Japanese a little bit. When I was in Jakarta, I went to international school. That's why I learned English, and I got fluent to English. And then my Indonesian language is because of I have to speak to my family, to my mom, and my Japanese is because I have to speak Japanese with my dad.
Talking to your dad was the only opportunity to speak Japanese.
So when I was a kid, I actually went to the language school in Jakarta. So
Okay.
I learned the Japanese. My dad learned Indonesian.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
word.
so that's how
You
I
went to school.
learned.
She went
and
to
then
school.
my dad actually also taught me Japanese at home. So he made me learn to speak Japanese.
Can you say something in Japanese and Indonesian?
こんにちは、エメリア桜里です。私の父が日本人、あと
She's
母
talking
が
about
インドネ
Japanese
シ
a
ア
little
人です。
bit.
今は
Yeah,
ジャカルタに
Japanese a
住んで
lot
ます
of bit.
In Indonesian. Hai, nama saya Emilia Sakura Sato. Jadi saya orang Jepang dan Indonesia. Dan saya sudah tinggal di Jakarta lama dari kecil. Sekarang saya di Jepang untuk
That sounds different.
ketemu keluarga saya. Jadi
The
kalian
pronunciation
harus coba
sounds
ke Jepang
crazy.
ya.
Hi, my name is Noah. My mom is Japanese. My dad is Moroccan, but I was born and raised in England.
So Morocco and Japan. Any
That's crazy. He got the English accent, but he half like that's crazy.
similarity or differences you noticed?
The first thing I noticed is the people. I'd say that Moroccans are quite more united. Like, if you see someone in the street,
Moroccan and
within like 10
Japanese.
minutes, they could be
they
your
was
brother or
raised
your
in
sister
England.
almost. And I feel like in Japan, it's a bit more harder to go talk to people that you don't know. On the other hand, I feel like Japanese they're very respectful and they're very disciplined. I
For
feel
sure.
like despite cultures being so different, I think there's the best of both sides. And I try to take that into myself and try and be the best person I could be.
In the future, where do you think you're gonna live?
Word.
In like UK, Japan, or Morocco?
I haven't really thought about this question yet, but I'd love to try at least 1 or 2 years in Japan and 1 or 2 years in Morocco and see where I go from there. But I do feel
Morocco
more
probably a
naturally
vibe. Word.
European, I'd say.
It's probably a vibe
in
out
terms of my
there.
personality.
Nah, for real, heard the
So I
foodie
could see
jumping
myself living
too.
there more, but who knows? I'd love to give it a try anyway.
Okay, so maybe you can introduce yourself in Japanese and Arabic.
Okay, こんにちは。私の名前はノアです。お母さんは日本人で静岡県浜松。で、お父さんはモロッコ人。でも生まれたからイギリスに住んでいます。よろしくお願いし
That's
ます。
a crazy
アスラムアレイクム、イスミノア、アイティ、サクナフ
Oh,
タ
wait,
ンジャ、
Assalamu alaikum.
بخي تعلم عربية ودارجة إن شاء الله. ديما مغرب.
Hi,
That's
I'm
crazy.
Lena Bambino. I'm half Japanese and I'm half Italian Irish from LA.
What's it like living in Japan
How
as
you
half Jap?
half? Wouldn't you be half Japanese, but then like maybe like a quarter Irish, a quarter Italian? How you half Japanese but half Italian and half? I'm just thinking too hard.
Japanese, not from Japan.
Well, I do speak the language, so I feel like it's very comfortable for me. But I feel like because I look very foreign, I can get away with not speaking perfect Japanese. So I feel like that can be a little bit of an advantage.
So people think you're a foreigner.
This is my third
All
day
the
out
time,
here.
all the time.
Are
Word.
you gonna live in Japan for good?
I don't think so. Maybe. Maybe go back to LA. Japan is really nice, but I feel like I'm not able to fully express myself. I feel like I have to tone down myself a little bit.
I
But
heard that before.
when I go back to LA, I can be like, like a little
Yeah,
bit
because
more out there.
niggas in the
So
U.S. we crazy.
maybe
We just be doing anything.
go back
Niggas
and
just trying to
forth
be
will
anything.
ideal, but maybe not Tokyo. Maybe some other place in Japan. Yeah.
How did you learn Japanese? Talking with your mom? Or
I spoke with my mom ever since I was little, and my household was Japanese. Even though I lived in LA, I lived with my mom, just my mom, and she always had Japanese shows on, and she spoke to me in Japanese. And I also went to Japanese school, so that was
And they got
actually my
Japanese
first
school in LA.
language before English.
can you introduce yourself in Japanese?
はじめまして、レイナ・バンビーノです。日本に来て8年目になります。日本では英語を教えてたり、あとは MC だったり、ナレーションのお仕事をさせてもらっています。よろしくね。
Hi, my name is Kai.
W
Hi, my name
Japanese.
is Ken.
And we are
That boy got
brothers.
the
And
icy
we were born
G-Shock
in
on. You
Caracas,
are-
Venezuela.
That bitch came in gleaming.
But we are half Spanish and half Japanese. We've been living here in Tokyo for 2 years now.
Word.
How's your life in Japan so far compared to Spain?
超楽住むの楽コンビニとかに24時間あ
Oh,
る
they don't
し
speak English.
夜
Hey, yo.
2時の朝お腹が空いたら普通にコンビニ行くじゃんスペインとかはないのそれ
東京はいいところいっぱいあるけど悪いところっつったらスペインの中でマヨルカっていうちっちゃい島に育ったの、東京はもう世界中で一番いる人じゃん。それがめっちゃショックだ。一日のペースも島に比べるとめっちゃ早い。
ずっと you guys gonna live in Japan or at some point do you guys want to go back to Spain or
5年とか10年住
No,
みた
he
いかな
really just fluent in Japanese. We
将来
probably know
は
Spanish too,
まあわか
but
んないかな
that's crazy.
そう
My man
短
didn't
くって
speak
言っ
English
たら
yet.
日本には住みたい。仕事もこっちだし、日本も大好きだし、あとアジアもめっちゃトラベルしてから日本でのベースをしてその6ヶ月日本に住んで6ヶ月は旅するっていうのもめっちゃいい。
Can you say something in Spanish? Your native language, right? Can you say something in Spanish?
Hola, me llamo Ken, vivo
Word.
aquí en Japón, llevamos 2 años viviendo
Man, that's
y
crazy.
muy contento.
So my man learned Japanese and obviously Spanish because that's his native language before English. He said, I don't need that English shit. That's crazy.
Con Japón.
He's speaking
Hola,
fluent
me llamo
both though.
Kai, tengo 25 años, me dedico también a la creación de contenido como Takashi, como Kai Nihon, y
you
me
promo.
encanta Japón
Got his
y
shit
todo
off.
lo que envuelve a este hermoso país.
Hello, my name is Serena. I'm half Italian, half Japanese. I
Okay,
grew up
with the
mostly
Vivian
in
Westwood
Italy,
bag and
I was
shit.
educated
Oh,
in
alright.
public school
You
in my
feel me?
small town there. It was not easy for me being half Asian in that environment, and I got bullied for my unique facial features, and I never appreciated the fact
sure.
that I was half Japanese. But now I really love my Japanese origins, and I'm proud to. Now I live in Italy.
Hey, word.
And
Hey, you know what's crazy? I just thought about this. Kids are ass in every culture. Like kids are ass in every culture. No matter where you go, you feel me? Kids go try to bully you in any country, any school. Like kids are just ass. Like these people having bad experiences in school all over the planet. You hear me?
go to the university.
You can get
there,
joned on this
but,
side too, no matter
now
where you're
I'm
from in
here
the country.
Japan,
Like in the
only
US,
for the summertime.
they on
Do you
your
think
ass.
there's
I'm about to
possibility
roast
that you
your
wanna
ass. You
live
feel
in
me?
Japan,
Type shit.
like for a long time?
I hope so because I really love Japan and I would love to live in Japan. Sure.
Any particular reason?
Maybe because I can be myself there. It's so cool living here in Tokyo. So yes, for this.
Tokyo. It's gonna be Tokyo.
Yes, I hope so.
So how many languages do you speak?
I can speak Japanese, Italian, and English.
You wanna say something in Italian and Japanese?
Ciao, mi chiamo Serena, mio padre è italiano, mia madre è giapponese. Sono nata in Giappone, ma sono cresciuta in Italia. Ma ho
Damn, she moving
perfezionato
fast.
le mie conoscenze della lingua giapponese.
You was
Konnichiwa,
speaking
私の名前は
fast as
セレナです。
shit.
福岡生まれだけど、イタリア育ちです。で、日本語まあまあ喋れるのは、全部お母さんのおかげで、毎日1時間は絶対に日本語の勉強をしたので、日本語喋れるので、やっぱり日本語をしてい
I
る
feel
のは
like
便利なので。
to learn, she's speaking fast as hell. I feel like to have two, your brain got to be different. Like your brain got to be different to know like 3 different languages. Like of course, like to me, English ain't even. It's just English. Like, but if I go overseas, it's a whole different story. Like people just looking at me like, what the hell is he talking to? What is he talking about? He can't understand this guy. You feel me? But over there, English is like literally a whole nother language. So it's like she really know 3. Like your brain got to be different to learn 3 and be fluent in every single one. I don't know if I got that dedication. I don't know if that's my dedication. You hear me?
で、まあ泣きながら勉強したんですけど、すごい難しくて、でも今はすごいありがたいです。
My name is Luke.
Yeah, you
My
better
mom
be
is
grateful.
Japanese
That's
and my
crazy.
dad is Italian, French, and Austria. I recently moved to Tokyo 2 weeks ago and born and raised in Sydney, Australia.
You said
Basically,
Tokyo
you
2
mix
weeks
with
ago?
lots of nationalities, right? Which country has the biggest impact on your personality?
I think it's Japanese because I used to watch a lot of Japanese anime and also YouTube. So a lot
Word.
of my background, a lot of my culture comes from Japan.
Like you used to come to Japan like every year or something?
Yeah, since preschool until year 9, I came every year for roughly a month and I went to a local rural high school. But then I didn't come for 3 years.
Yes.
And then I came back when I was 18
Yeah.
for a year and a bit.
Yeah.
And then I came back again 2 years after and I'm 21 right now.
The countries
21.
your dad's from, Italy, France, and Australia. Any connection with those countries?
I have a connection through my mother's cooking, which she learned from my dad's mother. So my dad's side's grandmother.
Yes.
She makes all of Italian food. She makes tiramisu, and that's how I get connected with my Italian roots.
Can you say something in Japanese?
W
最初
food.
に日本語を学んで、そこから学校行くたびにちょっと英語を学んだ感じです。
じゃあ日本語と英語は同じレベル？
同じレベルですね。結構日本語を先に学んで、でもオーストラリアに住んでたんで、結構平等に
Crazy.
多分上達したか
Man
な
lived
と
in
思います。
Australia,
Hello,
but
my name
learned
is Naomi.
Japanese
I'm half
first.
German, half Japanese.
Australia,
My
it makes sense how
mother
you would
is
just
from
come to
Germany and my
Japan
father
like
is
so
from
often
Japan.
because Australia and Japan
I
right
lived
there.
in Japan until I was 7 years old and
Makes
then
sense.
moved to Germany. I've been visiting Japan sometimes during like the summer holidays, and now I moved back about 4 years ago to Japan.
Your German personality and your Japanese
Moved back during the
personality.
pandemic type shit.
Anything that you want to say?
I think that when I was living in Germany, I definitely felt more Japanese. I think I'm a bit more shy and quiet and reserved. So I think life in Japan, of course, there are also, you know, plus and minus in every country. But in general, I feel like Japanese lifestyle, way of living, and the way the people in general are here really suits me. So yeah, I like it here.
Do you think it's true that some people say Japanese people and Germans are pretty similar? Like, you know, like when it comes to like punctuality and everything, do you think it's true?
I think it's definitely true. I was thinking about this, and I think, you know, the stereotype of German, I think as well as Japanese people, is they're very punctual and also really follow the rules. So yeah, I think German and Japanese people are very similar in that regard. And also I think that privacy is a big thing in Germany and Japan. People are pretty in general private, so I think they're pretty similar in that sense. Yeah.
Maybe you want to say something in German and Japanese?
Yes, of course. First in German. Hallo, mein Name ist Naomi. Ich bin halb Japanisch, halb Deutsch und lebe derzeit in Japan. And then in Japanese. こんにちは、加藤直美と申します。日本とドイツのハーフで今は静岡に住んでいまして、でもたまには遊びに東京に来てます。今も浅草に泊まっていてすごく楽しいです。
Okay, anyway, thank you for watching so far. How was it? That was interesting. I'm planning to make more video about people who have specific background like them. If you're one of them, please let me know. Let me interview you. Also, don't forget to follow my Instagram and TikTok. I upload short version of my interviews there. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, click like button. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any question you want to ask people in Japan, please leave a comment too. See you next time.
Word W Takashi. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Word. I'm definitely trying to go to Japan, and you feel me, in the near future. For real. I ain't been back since what, 2000 was when we moved back to the US. So definitely trying to go back. Takashi, he grew big. He got real big on YouTube real fast. I subscribed to him maybe like 2 years ago. I don't think he was at 1 million. You feel me? So he grew real fast on YouTube. But yeah, man, W video. Yeah, Yeah, man, I'm trying to go back to Japan soon. I swear, like if I had money, if I had the money, I would try to live, you feel me? Not in Japan permanently, but like I would definitely probably try to get a little spot over there so I can on a back and forth tip, because I love Japan, you feel me? I love the culture, I love the food, you feel me? And just a lot of things that come out of Japan, that's just my shit, you feel me? Word too, from anime to back in the day with the action figures to the gaming, PlayStation and all that, Nintendo. It was just like, it's right up my alley for real, you feel me? But yeah, W Video, Takashi, it's your boy Finesse Dog. We out now for real.